Hi everybody, Charlie Clark, Nissan, Charlie Clark, McAllen, Charlie Clark, pre-owned lots, 11 different locations. Here to talk about National Stress Day. Ironically, as I'm starting this video, someone decided to start chopping down a tree with a chainsaw, causing me some stress. I could choose how I reacted to that stress in this particular moment. And now I chose this particular location. I'm outside where Nana stays, and we're about to talk to my Nana. And so I decided to come out here in the middle of nature. This is one of the things that I do to start to try to relieve my stress. A lot of times we get stuck inside, lots of stuff going on in the world. I mean, where do we begin? I mean, everything with coronavirus, the lockdown, politics, stress. If you let it eat you up and you start obsessing. National Stress Day, I would think we start talking about ways and how to deal with that stress, right? For me, I've had plenty of stress in my life. Lots of very, 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 very stressful situations. For example, starting in business, that was very stressful. Trying to start from the ground up, which I recommend you do, rather than, those in life who've been handed everything don't really have too much of a stressful life. They've never had to really go through that. When you start as an entrepreneur, whatever path you take, whether you start a business or if you start from the ground up, that's usually a stressful process. But everybody has stress, everybody. It's how you deal with it. So your mind, your body, your spirit, there's those of you who pray, who meditate, and not let, and they say, I think one of the best ways to relieve stress is to find joy in your life. Find an activity that you like. Something you just like. When I was asked, when I was under a lot of stress and I was obsessing, and I talked to my mentor, Cliff Norgard. He's a retired psychologist now, but he's like, Charlie, I'm like, wow, I'm just not feeling, I've just been feeling down. He's like, well, what joy do you have? I mean, we ended up going to the shooting range, played chess, went out and did an activity outdoors, played golf, whatever. But the thing is trying not to let your thoughts control you. It's kind of like if you have a healthy lifestyle, for example. If you don't have a healthy lifestyle and you eat bad foods that aren't healthy for you, you end up with weight issues, with diabetes, and an unhealthy lifestyle. And on top of that, you get locked down in a room and you can't go out, and the sky is falling, and gosh, who wouldn't get depressed with that? So that's a lot of stress. So my recommendation is get into a routine. I saw a great commencement speech. What he was talking about is have a routine every day where when you get up, you make your own bed. First thing, make your bed, because that sets up the rest of your day. Do cardio in the morning. If you get up early when the sun's rising, turn off your television and just zen in with nature. Just connect if you can. Go outside, be around the trees, be around the air. Watch the sun come up. Then do your cardio. Get your thoughts together. What am I going to do today? What am I going to accomplish today? Then whatever you do with the rest of your day, organize yourself. Make sure when you start feeling, you start feeling bad or, stressed, identify that. You start feeling that stress in your shoulders and your back, and it's usually because you're obsessing about a thought, something that's happened in the past, something that's going to happen in the future. Try to live in the now. When you try to live in the now, existentialist, so to speak, that's a healthy way to live. You try to enjoy the moment. It's hard to do. I've never mastered it myself. I get stuck on, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do that. Yeah. So, for this National Stress Day, what I can say is be grateful for what you have. Be grateful for those that you have in your life that care about you. A lot of times people feel alone. Pray to God, and say, I'm really, really grateful for what I have. Even if it's very little, be grateful for it every day. Therefore, you're not complaining to yourself that, oh, if I only had this, if I only had that, and I only had this, then you get stuck in negative town. So when you're grateful for what you have and you're there to serve others in life, when you're there to serve people, it feels good for me to serve people. Our organization, we serve people. So you go on a daily basis, I like to put a smile on somebody's face. I like for that experience to be a fun experience, a transparent experience, one where people are just ecstatic about coming to our place. It's taken us years to build this brand, and there's no one else who's replicated that. Our team, our people, we understand all the elements. It's kind of like the recipe to a wonderful a cake, you could say, a pie, or a recipe for anything delicious. This is our recipe for making car buying delicious for people. So, back to stress day. Be grateful. Stay physically fit. Stay physically fit. Find a diet and a regimen that's low in sugar, better with good fats and carbs, or a balance of more protein, good fats, and less carbs. Just depends on the person. I personally go more toward a keto style diet with more proteins, good fats, and proteins, good fats. Yeah. So, and stay away from the sugars and stuff like that. So, I have my cheat day. Don't try to be perfect all the time. Find a day on Saturday. So on Saturday is your cheat day, right? You could have a cheat meal, cheat day. Some people just only have one cheat meal. Take a day to let yourself let go. The rest of the time, when you find that discipline, it gives you a sense of purpose and energy and focus. So now you're balanced physically, you're balanced spiritually. Now, if you got your head straight and you're not obsessing about the past and the future, and you're living in the now, and you can't change what's already happened, but if you keep thinking about it, it causes you pain. You got to find ways to get out and find joy in your life and not beat yourself up thinking about those thoughts over and over and over again. It's like my mentor told me when I kept obsessing about things. He goes, Charlie, why don't you just grab a big stick and start beating yourself over the head with it? I said, what are you talking about? Well, that's what you're doing by rehashing a past that you can't change. You're in pain, aren't you? Well, let's just make it simple. At least you'll distract yourself from the thought if you start hitting yourself in the head with a stick. And it made me think. I was like, wow, you're right. I can't change that. I can do what I can to be happy on a daily basis. We got to do what we can to help each other, help your neighbor. For example, you might have a neighbor, an elderly neighbor that needs some help. Go over and figure out if you could give them a hand at something in the house. Maybe something's broken down at their house, you can help them fix it. You can help paint. You can help mow the lawn. Every single neighborhood can help each other relieve stress if you work together. So anyway, in essence, thank you for listening. National Stress Day is a good time to discuss about how we can become a happier nation together and get, I know there's a lot of opposing views and forces and all going on. If we can find a way to come together and stop hating on each other so much, we have to operate at a higher level of frequency, not these lower levels of, how am I going to make it today? And it's easy for me to say. I know there's people who don't feel like they don't have anything right now. We've got to do what we can to help those people, so we can keep people from living in fear and dissension and, just working together and being grateful as a group, as a collective consciousness. We got to be conscious of nature and the balance that we have screwed up with nature on this planet, big time. We got to take responsibility for that, but also embrace it, understand it, Understand that we have a consciousness that's tied to everything. We're all tied together. Everything is tied together. We're not above it. These are not just the fruits of the earth given unto you for no cost. No. We have to respect mother, we have to respect father, and abuelo y abuela, love on our family. And thank you for listening. National Stress Day. Let's come up with solutions, more and more solutions every year. Okay? All the time. I'd like to know how you deal with stress. Please comment here.